like it's a tragic battle and that kind of stuff. I don't remember Metroid doing a lot of that, but this could be that. Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc. I'm a music composer for games, and today we have a suggestion from Patreon, and we're gonna listen to and talk about the track called Rundas Battle theme, and this is from Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. And I love the Metroid Prime series, but to be honest with you, I don't think I remember this battle theme. Maybe I'll remember it when I hear it. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. Oh wow. Totally sounds like Wii GameCube kind of music. The choirs here are very characteristic of Metroid Prime. Oh, I hear an electric guitar. Seems like they're building up. Holding one chord. Oh. This is very emotional for a boss battle. So unfortunately, it seems like I really don't remember this. This game was the one that I played the least, but I played on the GameCube Metroid Prime 1 and 2 a lot, and as soon as I heard these choirs, this is very characteristic of Metroid Prime. And the harmony here is very interesting. It holds on to the same chord a lot. It's just like sustaining a single chord for a long period of time, which creates a lot of anticipation. It also has some very heroic sections there in the harmony, like this kind of stuff here. There's a lot of happy chords here. So this happy chord, then a very tense chord here, and then it goes back to the chord that this is the chord, this is the home chord that they keep holding for a long time here, sustaining this chord, creating anticipation. So there's a touch of heroism to this. I'm guessing. Again, I don't remember a lot about this game, about the story. There's a sense of heroism here, and also the percussion on this, the pacing of it gives me a big sense of like duty and some kind of militaristic sensation. And this I remember. This game has something to do with the what is it called? The like military organization that Samus like works for, like the Federation or something. So maybe this song has something to do with that, because listen to this percussion. Sounds like a march. There's snare drums, which is sounds very military. There's a sense of duty. And then this part comes in. This part, to me, adds a layer of sadness. There's a bit of tragedy and melancholy here in this part. So this is interesting. I was playing this part here that I said sounds more dramatic and sad, and I was figuring out the chords, and turns out the chords are exactly the same from before. So I was thinking, wait, why does this sound more emotional to me? And let me tell you something about bass. When we talk about bass in harmony, bass, the bass note is the lowest note in the chord. So if you're playing a chord like this, for example, this is the bass note, is the lowest note in the chord. And what they're doing here to like modify the feeling of the chords is they are changing the bass without changing the chord. So this first chord here, for example. So this, it's a 3-note chord, it's a sad chord, it's the same chord that they were playing before, but they are just changing the position of the bass. It's the same chord. So like I said, it's a 3-note chord. The way bass works in harmony, it's a 3-note chord. We can choose any one of these notes, any one of these 3 notes to play on the bass. And depending on what note you decide to emphasize on the bass, it changes slightly the feeling of the chord. So this is how they were playing before. They were emphasizing the fundamental note, which gives you this kind of feeling. Now for this part that is more emotional, they are playing the same chord, but now they decided to emphasize the note that's called the third, and it sounds like this. You see, did you hear the difference? This sounds slightly more emotional, slightly more dramatic, and it's the same chord. That's a really neat little trick. Okay. And that little melody also adds some emotion to it. Oh, what's coming next? Beautiful. And it's still the same harmony. Oh, beautiful, very emotional melody. There's definitely something very... This is not like a... This is not one of the battles that I remember from like Metroid Prime 1 and 2, where you're just fighting a random alien and he's just a bad guy that you have to kill. This feels like there's some depth to it. Maybe it's one of the last fights of the game where there's more at stake. Metroid is not, as far as I remember, the kind of game that would do very complex battles in terms of emotions and narratives, where there's a lot of conflicting emotions and like it's a tragic battle and that kind of stuff. I don't remember Metroid doing a lot of that, but this could be that, or it just could be like one of the later fights in the game, one of the last fights, and there's more at stake, so there's more drama. I don't know. A lot of big jumps. Oh wait. Ooh. Super disturbing chord. Oh, things changed completely here. Oh. Very, very disturbing chord, and it's not just a disturbing chord that just happens to show up. They're spamming. They're doing this, they're spamming a disturbing chord. So, wow, is this like a second phase or something of the theme? Because it sounds very different from what it was before. And again, I have to assume there's some narrative reason for all of these disturbing chord hits. And the electric guitars as well are going crazy here. What's going on? This track was suggested on Patreon by Double. Hooray, Double! And I probably wouldn't have covered this track if Double hadn't suggested it to me. And it's obviously a very meaningful track to him. So if you have a very meaningful video game track to you that you want to share with us, get on Patreon, share that track with me so that I can share it with the world. After all, this is what this channel is all about, sharing the music from the games that we love with each other. So remember, whenever you're ready, to spread your wings and go on a music journey again. I will see you there.